Hey, what's going on, y'all? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's going on? Hey. All right, so my soul was bothered. Let me make sure I got this up right on volume side of the game. I'm getting better with the setup. Um, my soul was bothered by something I seen. So they had everybody on Instagram and everywhere else nowadays has always got the exclusive clip, right? So I saw the exclusive clip of a song called Dot Shit by Megan Thee Stallion. So the video hasn't dropped yet. You know what I mean? This is how they launch products now. Okay? So I looked at the behind the scenes clip. Now I want you to understand what I'm talking about here. So in the video, the dude that's doing the fucking recording has what is a harness, right? And these harness are usually fit around your waist. And the reason they fit around your waist is so the impact of the weight of the camera doesn't, how can I say it, bother you as much. You have a place to rest the camera, whether it be a DSLR, which is like, a point and shoot camera, whatever. You have a place to rest it, which is on the confines of this harness. They took the harness, wrapped it around Megan Thee Stallion, okay? Wrapped it around Megan Thee Stallion. And then they took the two sternums that are extension rods, okay? Moved them back, and they equipped those to the camera. So basically, he repurposed the use of this just so he could specifically get her motherfucking shot of her butt. Twerking. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, y'all heard me first. And all the history of niggerdom. We ain't never seen the perplexities of the shit that's going on right now. Y'all heard me correct. He took a harness, which is basically, ladies, if you know what a corset is, if you're on here, he basically took a corset and had two harnesses put to it, and then the camera's at the end. So as her butt is moving, this is say for shits and giggles, my head is a butt, and this is the camera guy with my hands, so he could get this effect of nothing but her ass. So it was a white fella filming, and I'm checking this shit out, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with the sisters, man? What the fuck is going on? Dot shit, mom. And then y'all always hear me, the reason I'm talking about this, because y'all always hear me talk about, because of my history of the music industry, I know how they throw this shit out there. And it's like, one thing that the female rappers have to do that the male rappers don't have to do is they have to outdo each other on a whole different pedestal. Like, the male rappers, they have to outdo each other too. But they can take their time to outdo each other. They can wait 4 or 5 hours to do it if they want to. You know what I'm saying? Is that the subtleness of the beef itself is more interesting actually than somebody winning in a lot of cases when it comes to on music beef or off of music beef. A lot of people like the slow grind. But with the women, oh man, they ferocious as hell, female artists. You kidding me? Female artists, let me try to tell you something, right? Female artists are vicious. They take a lot to upkeep, and they will do what they got to do to get their motherfucking money. And they'll do a lot of other things that a lot of men won't. Shit. Y'all ever heard about TLC running up in the motherfucking, TLC running up into the motherfucking offices up there? Man, listen. Left Eye had a gun. You gonna give us some money. RP Left Eye. She had that goddamn it on her. You know what I'm saying? She won't play no games. They think I got the goddamn it out here. You know what I'm saying? Get some things done sometimes. I mean, hell, the Mafia used it. The Irish Mafia used it. Jewish Mafia used it. The way of the gun always extends, doesn't it? Y'all hit them like buttons if y'all in here right now. Y'all know this ain't no Cash App information, none of that. I'm getting into everything. And Thomas, if you see this or you chime in, thank you. I just noticed that today. I don't even have that shit set up right now. I mean, it's still there, But the email came through, and I seen the email when I was looking at it. I was like, oh shit, I didn't even see this shit. I would have thanked you yesterday when you was on here. Thank you, Thomas. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to TMH Global Music, man, doing that thing. This is sad. Like, I don't know if y'all understand what I'm saying, but see, right now, just like when we was kids and shit we saturated, whether it was Rugrats, whether it was fucking Barney, or whether it was, you know what I'm saying, earlier than that with, you know what I mean, the Smurfs or some shit, like, I don't know. But the shit that we're saturating now, taking in now, is very different than what it was when people were younger. And they had their own variations of it then too, sexuality, violence, etc., etc. Make no escape about it. You know, Rambo, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and, you know, many other different characters that were played, Conan, you know, this violence that we grew up on in America, and sex. But we didn't push sex out so vividly like we do now. And this is what I was telling you guys about, like when I was talking about the OnlyFans shit and all that shit or whatever. And, you know, I watched Kevin Samuels decimate some women that projectionally thought that they, in their 20s, would be still doing OnlyFans in their 30s and 40s. And I was like, well, y'all chicks are on a straight, narrow path to nowhere. That's like a stripper, like saying, I'm in the game for good. Now, there's some madams and some pimps out there, Fillmore Slim, you know what I'm saying, Naughty Tasha, a couple other ones, you know what I'm saying, out there that's OGs in that game, you know what I'm saying? And I want to respect them. Miss CC out in Cali, you know what I'm saying? Miss Tina out in Cali, you know what I'm saying? Hey, what's going on in that? You know, there's some OG women out here and men that been in that sex game that live to retire out of. You know what I'm saying? Fillmore Slim. Let's give a shout out to the one and only Bishop Don motherfucking Magic Wand. You know what I mean? And his soon to be, his replacement, literally in my opinion, my spiritual advisor, the one and the only, straight out of Miami, Florida. You know what I mean? So, make no mistake about it, man. And I'm not talking about Don, I'm talking about another friend of mine that I hold dear. Just for a lot of the words he be saying and everything else, you know what I'm saying? I'll mention him a little bit more in a little bit, but Nino Brown is that motherfucker. Y'all make sure y'all go check out Nino Brown's channel. Y'all get a chance. Nino Brown. You'll recognize him. He should be wearing his fronts and his sunglasses. So you'll know him when you see him. Shout out to that brother. Megan Thee Stallion made an embarrassment today of not only people of color, but the whole entire, I don't know, gender of females. See, whatever derogatory comment you could say is thrown at a woman from a man, I could show you more than 15 to 16 examples of how in a male-dominated society, yes, it's still a male-dominated society, I can show you how in a male-dominated society, how those 15 or 16 things that you do against yourself for one time promoted. See, right now, this sister don't even understand. I call her that because she's young and dumb right now. She don't understand that she projectionally put women in a more sexually promiscuous place in society. Not in the lights of looking at the women as doctors and lawyers and all the aspirations that women have to be more accepted and more equal pay and more every fucking thing else that comes along with it. And trust me, on a lot of it, I totally agree. And then there's some of it I don't fucking agree. I think it's a fucking cop-out. I think it's bullshit. And I think somebody added on to the shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like making a mixed drink and it's fucking perfect. And you're like, you know what? Add some grenadine to that shit. Oh, now I'm fucking throwing up and it tastes like fucking syrup. See what I mean? So that would get me mistaken. I am not against women's rights by any means. I'm just more so looking at the wild perspective. Hey, Divalicious, I'm looking at the wild perspective of how this girl managed, like Nicki. See, this is the core. They had Wet Ass Pussy, right? That was her and Cardi. And that was a prelude to open it up to more. And then before then, it was Kim, it was Foxy, you know what I'm saying, a couple other female artists, Charlie Baltimore, I'm gonna throw her in there. You know what I'm saying? Let's not forget Charlie Baltimore. I was around when Charlie Baltimore was popping. Shout out to Entertainment. know what I'm saying? R.P. to Blake Victorious B.I.G. You know what I'm saying? Our label's forefather. I don't know if Meg Thee Stallion knows what she just did today by doing this video. And if y'all just tuning in, I want to tell y'all one more time. The cameraman in this clip that they put up, and I'm going to throw the clip up. This cameraman in the clip they threw up, he had the regular harness that he uses on his chest, and it's like, it fits just like a corset, ladies. You know what a corset is. And this guy placed the corset or the harness around her waist. He had two rods that came out, which usually are used as apertures for the camera. And what he did was, he took that, extended it from there, and put it on her ass, and moved the camera as her ass was moving. So he would have this view where it's like a dolly. It's like the same thing I'm using right now, but, well, you call that a jib. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm saying to myself, I'm like, this girl's being filmed by this white man right now, and this white man's probably sitting there to himself thinking, this is the dumbest shit ever. But I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it because this is my job. This is what I signed up for, so I understand that. I truly understand that. But in hindsight, when this video drops, because this is a clip for the video, when this video drops, all the girls gonna be on it. You know what I'm saying? I saw how they took hold and took a loving to what's those shows, Sukihana down in Miami. You know what I'm saying? I like Sukihana. You know what I'm saying? Like, I give Sukihana the business, but you know what I mean? All the kids she got and everything, I think she's sexy. But at the same time, her little chocolate ass gotta understand this too. You got kids. And what these kids gonna think one day is the big question. You know what I'm saying? And that's the part I'm scared about. There's people's daughters out here listening to this shit. You know what I mean? Do y'all hear any crackling, anything on y'all end? Because I hear it in my headphones. So I'm just making sure the sound is right. If not, I'm gonna switch it up. Let me know if my sound is right. I listen to my 90s R&B. Davin, I'm really not feeling this music of today. Hope our R&B singers would bring some real. Yeah, see, she's not even a singer. Megan Thee Stallion ain't no singer. She a rapper. She a raunchy ass rapper. Let's call her for what she is. You know what I'm saying? Keisha Cole, singer. You know what I'm saying? Fantasia, singer. You know what I'm saying? I even give it to what's homegirl's name? I like her, even though all her songs are morbid as hell. I forgot what that little dark skinned chocolate sister's name is, who played the guitar. But I like her too. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple of new ones. Queen Naija, I like her. You know what I'm saying? I just got, okay, thank you. I just got on to her just a minute ago, Queen Naija. She did a joint with my man, Lucky Day. I like a lot of Lucky Day's songs. I've been covering a lot of his songs on my pathway to, you know what I'm saying, singing again. That was a hard transition to make. I literally spent this past year and a half learning how to sing again. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did poems and was singing before I was a rapper. You know what I mean? Believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? So I did poems and singing before I was a rapper. So like to get back into singing, it was just like, and it's just so much better. It's so much more natural. I've been covering a lot of songs from a lot of different people. I ain't gonna tell y'all who. A lot of different people. So stay in tune for that. And some rap shit. Even these new rappers, I'm not feeling it. Now, I'm not feeling most of them either because most of them all got the same sound. I'll go down the street and I hear the song playing and I'll be like, yo, I just heard that same tone sonically 5 minutes ago. You know what I mean? So I get it. But this shit Megan Thee Stallion is doing is deeper than rap. See, rap, we had always been bravado about rap, and we always put out something raunchy about rap, and we always put out something that's like, you know what I mean? But like, the reality of today's rap is this. Today's rap consists of something different, which is basically too much bravado and too much unnecessary nudity and shit like that for no reason in front of these babies, in front of these kids. And I don't have no kids, you know what I'm saying? But I know if my kids had jumped, say my kids had jumped into a car right now, right? I know Uncle Luke and all them, they was the niggas when we was coming up. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we want some pussy. Somebody just sampled them just recently too. You know what I'm saying? That very exact shit. And so like, that's the stuff we listened to when we was coming up or whatever. You know what I mean? That, and then it transcended into Foxy and Kim, and then it transcended in that later with Nicki. You know what I'm saying? I'm still in my party years, so you know what I mean? Yeah, I'll still go to the club and dance to Megan. I'll still go to the club and dance to Cardi. I'm not gonna front. That's not what I'm talking about. We gotta learn how to separate this shit from the club and separate this shit from motherfucking what's the name, reality. And reality is a lot of these girls are watching this shit and they thinking this is the way to go. I can make my motherfucking money going to OnlyFans. Fuck school. I can just get pregnant by a rich rapper. That nigga worth $24 million. Even if I get 2% of that, that's $1 million and $2 million. You're thinking it's opportunists. Not women that are worth marriage and long-term success, and that's how these men are thinking of you. They're thinking of you as just like another bill to pay, if that makes sense. And I've had this conversation with many men. I'm a guy. I got a D, you know what I mean? I want to move on from that because I know no matter how long I talk about that, everybody just ain't going to, be on par for that. Shit bothers me, so I'm going to say something about it. Next thing I want to talk about is what happened to me today, personally. So, I've been telling you guys I'd had some problems or whatever, getting in place and being at these moratoriums, having lifted, and I'm in one of the most, I don't know if you want to say, one of the most lucrative areas in Connecticut. One of the problems that I've been having is the fact that we can't find a place. So, permanently, for my permanent place. Right now where I'm living is a temporary place. It's a segue until I get to my own apartment. Yes, I have to pay rent there. Yes, I have paid rent there for the past 2 months. Felt fucking good. But it digged into and I had to reach into my donations and all that shit. So if you would kindly cash app $STRINGERBELL80 before you click off, let me tell you why. So when we first looked for the first apartment, the lady wanted me to pay $125 non-refundable. And this is supposed to be inclusive of her background check and all this shit, whatever. I had 2 landlords. He never had no evictions. My last place that I moved out of, I get kicked out of. The landlord didn't even want me to leave. I'm like, that's what you should be worried about. You know what I'm saying? That's what you should be worried about. But these landlords and everybody else have tightened up down here because there's more moratoriums. They haven't lifted yet. Once those lift, then what happens then is everybody can now file for evictions. So if you had a tenant that's been with you for 6, 7 months, 8 months, for example, now all of a sudden you want to get rid of them, it's not going to be very easy. It's going to be a lengthy process. All right, y'all got to give me 2 seconds. Y'all rock with me. It just started drizzling out here, so I'm going to move, all right? So I'm going to keep talking as I'm moving, so y'all just rock with me, right? It turned from sprinkles to starting to get like, toot, 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 you know what I mean? So we need to get the fuck up on out. So let me grab my stuff, my soda, and we're gonna move. And I'm gonna keep talking as I'm walking. So today, my worker calls, he sends me a text. And I'm gonna put the text up too so you guys can see it. So my worker sends me a text. And in the text, he says to me, hey, listen, because I passed on that place at that lady at the office. She sounded like a real jerk for one. And then two, she didn't want to talk to me on the phone, which I found very like asinine. I've never had a landlord. Why wouldn't you want to talk to me? And so my worker, as we were talking to her, because I have to go over there, I'm still like, I don't know how you want to say it, a client of theirs or whatever, but I am that because I'm still there. So today he hits me, tells me, hey, I want to need you to pay $40 so we can get a criminal background check or whatever. Now, I'm a 2-time felon. And usually these rules apply. Okay, we can stay right here. Usually these rules apply. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm going to adjust this. It's an iced tea in case y'all wanted in Arizona. All right. So usually, this should be good right here. Usually, you would think somebody's coming out of the homeless shelter system and all that shit. There'd be some provisions provided, or they would have some type of, particular setting set up. So people can, gradually get out of there on time like they wanted to. That's how it was happening. What's happening is because of these moratoriums and because of some past experiences they had with people at that homeless shelter, transcending them out from there onto housing, whatever, whatever. People fuck up the crib, have mad people over, you know, the usual Negro shit, you know what I mean? Word spreads fast when shit like that happens. You see what I'm saying? So what ultimately happened was dude said, oh, you know, word spread across to the motherfucking landlords or whatever. So dude told me coming in. He already told me coming into that portion of the program, he told me ahead of time. And I told y'all on camera. I said, he told me, he said, yo, it's gonna be hard to get a place because a lot of landlords don't want to fuck with that program. But these landlords have an obligation to fuck with the program. That's the problem. They have an obligation through the city to fuck with the program, and they're saying no. Y'all don't get what I'm saying. So, you know what I mean? If y'all don't get the sauce and the dust, what I'm saying is, how you gonna ask a motherfucker that you know is at the homeless shelter, or in the homeless shelter program, to give up $125 that's non-refundable on a ring and a prayer? How you gonna ask a motherfucker that's in a homeless shelter, whatever, whatever, which I'm sure some of them dudes probably got way more severe records than I do. How the fuck do they get in a place if you're charging them not only $40 for a background check, but what most of them men have probably had fucking records? If you're a drug addict, you probably got a record. Stealing, breaking in some shit, something. You know what I'm saying? Disorderly conduct, something. Something you've been in court a couple times, son. Trust me on this. I know niggas are heavy. I was one of them. If you got that much to throw out, my nigga, like you definitely been in some shit. That's what I'm saying. So how do these men that you know are felons and everything else or whatever, how do they eventually get out of it? Well, they don't. What happens is the program will only go, you have 120 days to find a place, right? So what happens is it exasperates. And then like once that 120 days go on, they give you like a 30 or 60 day extension or some shit like that, which will bring you up until like September or something like that. The place they're into right now, I feel like it really wasn't meant for me to be there. It's kind of like a headache from happy with it. You know what I'm saying? And I want to leave there. You know, so bad, so bad. You know what I mean? I got some guys that are roommates that, you know, just today I had to scream with them. You know, it had to be done. It had to be done. I had to stay in the corner. I could have done anything. I could have done them dirty. I put them right in the corner because niggas be thinking because I'm small, like, son, listen, I'm small, but when you get up on me, trust me, it's a different deal. I'm 6'3". You know what I'm saying? I grab me the street with the throat, okay, I'm crazy. Like, so I'm sitting here, this nigga, and I'm trying to talk to him normal. And he tried to turn up. So when he turned up, that's when I turned up. A word? You gonna do what? What you gonna do? What's gonna happen then, nigga? Like, what's gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? You put no fucking fear in my heart, nigga. What the fuck? And I got my man on the phone the whole time I'm talking. It's like my man just happened to call in the middle of all this. And I'm like, yo, hold on one second. I'm talking to my mans as I'm talking to this. You know? You always have to be on point. I had to go back to the streets being in this fucking shit. In fact, you have to go back to the streets. No doubt about it. Because if you don't, you will not survive. You know what I'm saying? I've been through 3 of them. I've been through the one on 30th Street, they failed me in Manhattan. I've been through the motherfucking one in London, they failed me for the most part. Left there. You know what I'm saying? One down here, they the biggest winner so far, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying, there's too many obstacles in this shit. That's why I would reach out to the people and be like, yo, I need help on this, I need help on that, I need help on this. You know what I'm saying? It's not a nigga telling me now, I know when that shit come back, he told me it's gonna make it easier. No, it's not. It's gonna make it harder. This is where they get me. Let me put y'all up on the secret. I told y'all I done live in condos and all that shit. Whatever. Y'all know how? Private owners. So you go through a private owner, you don't have to go through all this shit. You go through the fucking all these fucking agencies or whatever. They're going to charge you $125 for this, $150 for this, and then it's non-fucking refundable. I had to look at this woman and be like, listen, lady, I don't give a fuck what you think. I went to college and I own stocks in 23 fucking companies. You understand what I'm saying? And 2 of them gained today. You know what I'm saying? Which was AMC and my other ETF fund. Get the fuck out of here. That shit coming. Y'all see me put the shit up. You know what I mean? So, but I like you thinking I'm stupid because you thinking I'm stupid gives me the advantage. Simple warfare. You know what I'm saying? So you keep on thinking I'm stupid. All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? I'll be over here in this motherfucking Jag ride past your ass. You know what I mean? Like I've been doing for years. You know what I mean? Factory. So, you know, like a lot of these fucking what's the name people, you have to kind of like skew them because it gives people this illusion that if they fit through that system, nah, nigga, that means they just signed you up for another death march during the debt crisis. You know what I'm saying? So now you even further in debt. You know what I mean? People get into debt or whatever. One of the ways I avoided that, and that's how this motherfucker was surprised, that I never got dumb cars in my name. You know, if you're going to get a car, go fucking rent that shit. Don't go lease some shit. You only go keep it for a couple of months before the shit is lame anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody see you in the car now or whatever. Like real niggas, we switch up cars. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not talking about like, you know what I mean? There's a definition or a plateau or whatever. But I mean, like if you in it, like we are, like we were, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know what I mean? We didn't do it like that. We didn't do it like that. Never. And these not old war stories. These are stories from 4 or 5 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, for real. Even up before COVID, this was a story of me going back into that and that shit. The way these motherfuckers are in this state is funny. And I talked about the governor and I see what he trying to do. You know what I mean? He trying to, like each state, I don't know if y'all know this, individually, they can do whatever they want to with the COVID relief money and distribute it however they want to. But in certain programs and certain provisions, they're supposed to allow to the citizens of the state based off getting those packages. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, Connecticut is going to get an additional, because there's a lot of money, I don't know if y'all know this or not, but a lot of money from the first, second, and third stimulus packages that passed, they're just now getting flooded out. You know what I'm saying? A month, if not almost a year later. You know what I mean? And at that time, they knew it was. And the reason they do that is so they can balance the budget enough so there's enough surplus or money there to fit what they're trying to do. You can't just give 7 states $300 million or $300 billion, right? Well, Connecticut received $318 billion, right? And out of the tri-state, they were the least hit. I'm going to say that again for you. Connecticut got $318 billion, yet still, out of the tri-state, they were the least hit by COVID. Except for the area I'm in here in Fairfield County where I live, they were the rest of the state was the least hit. They had the lowest cases compared to New York and New Jersey. I know I was still living in New York at the time before I came back to the town. You know what I'm saying? I was living right there in the Bronx, and the peak of Bronx and Brooklyn was hit. I got video and pictures of motherfuckers putting bodies in St. Barnabas from the hospital. People putting bodies literally in tractor trailers. You know what I'm saying? They're holding them all by the dozens. This is all facts. You know what I'm saying? I put up shit while I was caught in riots. Like I sell no chuck. You know what I mean? This is all real, and that's how I like to keep sourcing. You know, spicy, whatever you want to call it. As a result of that, this boggles my mind how Connecticut got $318 million. And this is what the governor wants to do. And all different states are doing different things. So let me underline that. Gavin Newsom in in California is on his roll to give his second, roll with $600 stimulus checks. Jersey's got their own thing. They talking about giving some stimulus checks. New York has got their own provisions they're doing in that crooked ass state, doing what they doing. And Connecticut, with our crooked asses over here, is doing what they doing. I'm gonna tell you exactly what they're doing. There ain't enough jobs out here in the state of Connecticut available right now for you to get a ratio of the amount of $1,000 that you have to give or whatever, or you're promising to people if they return to a job, right? So if you turn to a full-time job in the state of Connecticut, you can get $1,000, right? I look for jobs every day, okay? Every day, because it helps you, especially moving into a new apartment, you know what I'm saying? But I got some little something. So I'm sitting there and I'm looking or whatever. And that's why I'm on a horn hard right now too, because I know the first is coming up again. So it's Cash App, $STRINGERBELL80. That nigga say y'all want me to win, show it. You know what I mean? Show it. Show me the same love. Niggas show Kevin Samuels and everybody else. All the rest of them niggas will come here and do the same thing. Cash App, STRINGERBELL80. Now, as a result of all that shit, I can take y'all right across the street right here where I'm at right now, right? And if I walk in there and I walk on the other side of the train station, I'm gonna show you how real shit is. There's a corner when you walk out, it's a little restaurant right there, right? And a lot of times I come in on the train at 2 o'clock, 2:30 in the morning or whatever, because that's just how the train system works. You know what I'm saying? I catch the very last train out of New York at 1:48 a.m. You know what I'm saying? And be back here in Connecticut within 30 minutes. Now, 30 or 45 minutes, depending if it's a local train. I mean, to stop everywhere, sit there for about 5 minutes, then, you know what I mean? So, let me tell y'all something. I go inside that train station right now as I come out of it. Every time I come out of it, I noticed something. There was like 5, 6, 7 people in their sleep. I started noticing in the stairway, there were people in there passed out or whatever and everything else, and I started recording this shit. And I was like, I got a pardon. The hair on my chest is sticking to motherfucking my shirt bottle. You know what I mean? It just happens. You know what I mean? Shave that shit down or something. That shit cool as fuck. Ain't motherfucker, I'm sorry about that nasty shit. This nigga's in there sleep. So, in one of my videos, y'all will see it, and y'all will hear when I'm talking to the security guard, and he says, yo, it's just like the homeless here. The states told us we can't throw them out, we can't put them nowhere, whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no problem with that. I was one of them. But it's the fact that you got money, $318 billion, and you got white men. White men. Let's fucking say fuck black men, fuck Latin men. You got white men sleeping in the motherfucking train station. Oh shit, real. You go down 34th Street, Times Square, Brooklyn, BX, it's homeless white men everywhere. For all different reasons, some on drugs, some for other reasons. But yeah, fact though. $318 billion, and you offering people $1,000 to go back to full-time work. But at a ratio, there's not enough jobs in the state right now being offered. And you can see that from going on several different job listing sites, including the ones that are provided by the services I go to. I can't make this shit up. So there ain't enough jobs to fill at a perplexity, let's say not even 20% of the population in the state of Connecticut currently right now. And as an example, you have to wait, I think it's a month or 2 before you get the money actually. Why? Because that money is being repurposed in the meantime, and then when the next fiscal month comes up, or whatever the cycle is taking place, then they distribute that money in slow batches. So they'll eventually they'll eventually, depend on the cutoff point, distribute all the money. But the fact is, it's the factor in which the route they're taking to distribute the money. You understand what I'm saying? So they're taking their time to distribute the money by stalling it by. They know everybody in this fucking state ain't gonna be like a surge of 130,000 people all of a sudden going and saying, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go get work because there's all these jobs. Nah, that's not in this state. Everything slows down at a certain time. People are really not outside like that yet. I guess people are moving around or whatever, but this town is nothing like what it used to be. Used to be people out all the time walking. They're gradually coming out. The same thing in New York. They're gradually coming out, but not really. This man is going to repurpose that money, redistribute the money, and then in the long haul, he'll use that money into other programs and shit like that. So basically, it's hustling. The man's a businessman turned politician. They tell me I need to pay $40 to pay for an application. I'm gonna put the shit up because y'all ain't gonna believe this shit. So I'm gonna put the shit up so y'all can see it. I'm overseeing it and all that. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can see it. So y'all can see it for yourself. Y'all have my promise on it. $125 now refundable. And I'm like, how come the people ain't take it? The chick was so stern about it. She didn't even want to. He gave her an option, said, yo, you can just add it to the rent because the place is only 14. He's allowed a place up to 1781. Now I'm getting cocky because I'm like, well, fuck that. That place was cool and that was 14. Fuck that. I want something for 17. 28. I know that shit got to be flayed out. Feel me? I want that shit. Cause this shit right here, this shit is trash. All this shit is trash. That lady's last name was some fucking elbow bitch or some devil bitch. You know what I'm saying? Last name. And I was just like, who the fuck this chick supposed to be? And she owned a couple of properties. That's the thing. She owned a couple of properties. So that's what we up against. Ain't no black realtors on there. Ain't no black realtors on there. That's why I want to get into development. Ain't no Latin developers on there either. All no owners on there. And the ones that are on it, they hide in the shadows from it because they know eventually what they're going to get. Piece of shit ass people to rent from it. A lot of times. So it's not like somebody like me has got an impeccable fucking rental record, ain't never been kicked out nowhere. My landlords didn't want me to leave, you know what I'm saying? And they've attested to that. You know what I'm saying? My last landlord, I told my new landlord, hey, I didn't want him to leave, and joked about it. I heard him on the phone because he had him on speakerphone in front of me. You know what I mean? Ain't no Chuck. So I don't be understanding this shit. So they make this shit harder. The locals want to keep the population homeless, not me. Not me. I'll get on this motherfucker, put in my work, raise my money, fucking bread, and get the fuck out. Like I might have should have done beforehand. This is like a headache. You know what I'm saying? It's like a headache. And I ain't giving up. Don't y'all think that, but I'm just saying. You got motherfuckers going through extra type of hurdles for simple shit that should already be there. And I've done everything that's been asked of me. So at this point now, I got an attitude. You feel me? Like I got an attitude. It'd be different if I was some lazy motherfucker that wasn't doing what I'm supposed to do. Y'all don't even know. I barely even sleep half the time. I literally barely ever sleep. That's why sometimes I be jumpy, I be moody, and I drink dumb tea and fucking coffee. So I be moody sometimes. Sometimes I like fucking with everybody right now. You know, I need a moment to myself. Let me get back with you. You know what I mean? Because I know me. And I definitely don't want to fuck around and say something to people I like that's derogatory or something like that based off of my mood and current level. You know what I mean? Fucking with that shit. Let me tell y'all something. Out charging people that are in a homeless situation don't have a lot of money or whatever the case may be, is wrong. Just completely wrong. And you as a realtor, well, let me say this myself. If I was in a realtor situation, I would never do that. I hope you get into development, which will in turn make you a landlord or a seller of properties. And I never want to get into that. I would never treat anybody like that. As long as they treat me with respect, or renting from me or buying from me, you will never see that out of my face now. You know what I mean? I'll be like that character, 40-year-old version. Oh, you want to see nigga? Nigga here now. Nigga here now. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you thought you was a nigga. Nigga, you ever heard of Rolling Frosties? Huh? Nigga? Frosty Spoon. It's a hard battle to fight by your motherfucking self. That's why I get on here and talk about it sometimes. Now, speaking of all you rich motherfucking Negroes, and I'm gonna end off with this one. Chick-fil-A is motherfucking raising their prices. And I know you're wondering why they're raising their prices. Not Chick-fil-A. I saw a nigga standing outside that motherfucker during the height of the pandemic. Like, I don't give a fuck about this virus. I got to have my motherfucking enchiladas and shit and shit. During the pandemic, niggas was standing in front of Chick-fil-A getting motherfucking takeout. Got to have this shit. I'll stand out here for an hour if I gotta wait for this shit. Is that good? So, anyway, as niggas was sitting outside waiting for this shit and everything like that, right? It's the funny shit. This is the funny shit. They're raising the prices because they have to raise the minimum wage. Or like a city like New York, they have already raised the minimum wage probably last year to $15 an hour. So to compensate for that price, for that wage hike, they have to do a price hike. So that means nationally they're doing this because they in turn trajectory see that most of the nation is going for a $15 minimum wage, as Biden is suggesting his income and infrastructure bill, which also may include, and many people are saying, a fourth stimulus check. So y'all be on the lookout for that. Now, I'm 50-50 about this. Because a lot of these motherfucking advocates for a $15 minimum wage nationally, most of them, right, are African American or Latin or rural white or liberal white, and most of them want to sue us. And I don't blame them. Here's the thing that hails the contention when you do say this shit, though, right? When you do say that you want this $15 minimum wage, are you willing to pay more for your food or the services you want to compensate for that and that you, two people, being able to coincide and help each other make money? Meaning that if she comes to your establishment or he comes to your establishment, he has to pay a higher price. If vice versa, they come into your establishment, you got to pay a higher price. And you've got to be content with that based on the fact that now you're making the same amount of money. So in hindsight, what's happening is that $15 needs to really be raised to $17 to fight the onslaught numerology-wise. Meaning that after taxes, after, depending on the state you live in, the other numerous taxes they take out, New York City plays out a lot in economic tax. I saw that on my check several times. You know what I'm saying? From Ripley's, from motherfucking a couple other places I was working at. So you see it. You know what I mean? The employment tax is the biggest one. And out of that employment tax, when you're making $15 an hour, you're really only making $13.75 after all the taxes have been taken out. You really just made $13.75 an hour, which is close to 14, but $1.25 at least laterally each hour has been taken out. That's how you gotta look at it. After all the taxes, $1.25 an hour was deducted from that $15. That's just the way it is. So yeah, Chipotle is going to increase. So if y'all like that shit, you gotta pay a little bit more. Other than that, guys, I'm out of here. I want to do my due diligence, make sure I went live, talk to y'all, holler at y'all and all that. Still in the bind, some other shit. I'm gonna put up that info so y'all can see that. I just gotta blur some names and shit like that, but you'll be able to see it. And donate, guys. $STRINGERBELL 80 ain't shit change. You know what I mean? I got into an interesting conversation with one of my followers, Sailor Moon. And Sailor Moon was professing a whole bunch of shit or whatever. Talking about she ain't never seen girl. I had a link up for my motherfucking Cash App and all that shit since I started. So it's there now. I'll put it up there. It's in the description box here. It's also in the links. But I ain't asking you for nothing, mama. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? If what you say is true, good looking, and thank you for helping homeless men, whether they're drug addicts or whatever else. I don't like to see no men of color on the streets, period. So I appreciate you for that. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. $ Cash App, $STRINGERBELL 80. Links will be in the description, also on the pinned comment. And make sure y'all subscribe, like, share. If you can, tell a friend about me, whatever. If they love me, I appreciate you. If they don't like me, fuck you and everybody that lives in your house. All right, y'all, I'm out.